right, so we got the recording going. What are you doing? What? Can you just go when we gotta go? Like, do you have to, like...
Are we live?
No, we're not live. No, we're not live.
It looks like we're live.
We are live. What are you doing?
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
God.
Welcome to the show. It's If We Were at Nintendo. My name's Sean. I'm with Bobby. We're live, apparently, on youtube.com/Nintendo Guru, or Gurus. Thank you to everybody helping us out on patreon.com/makeusbetter. That's why we're live. And I want to give a special hug and a kiss, Bobby, to our executive producers. You know them all. Nick from Next Level Games, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Sheldon Benedict, Jesse Armstrong, Glauco Schaffer, David Ray, Joey Hehir. There's so many of them. Let's do it live, Bobby.
Wait a minute.
Yahoo!
Our newest.
Michael Reeve?
Yes.
Our newest Michael Reeve.
There you go.
Let's go live.
We're going live.
Are you ready?
What I said! Are you ready?
Can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. Think that you're better?
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Bow to the masters. Break it down.
If we ran Nintendo. If we ran Nintendo. If we ran Nintendo.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 77 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all of podcasting, Sean Capri. What's up, Sean?
Hey, Bobby. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm feeling weird today, buddy.
Why?
I ate almost an entire cake earlier.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah, so we'll
that'll
see.
do it.
I've made mistakes before with pork and rice, and
you'll be shutting the show down like midway, and you'll be like...
But we don't have to, because the bathroom is right there. I can basically just, like, I've got a really long cord from my headphones.
Nobody wants to hear
and
that.
I can bring... I got a little... My mic on, like, this boom thing.
Nobody wants to hear that.
You can just kind of swing it around.
Nobody wants to hear that.
It's silent.
Yeah, okay. So what's up, man? How you doing?
I've got a mute button on my mic. Bobby.
Yeah, Sean.
Life is busy, man.
Yeah,
It's been busy.
Very.
I would like to be playing more video games, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I've been playing a lot of my 3DS, dude.
Really?
I was playing. I got maybe 20 minutes of Hey Pikmin in today.
Okay.
And it's just a really nice, like, just chill, just until some animal like starts eating all your Pikmin, and I don't want that to happen, Bobby. I want to keep all my Pikmin, but I'm like, I don't know how else to attack this thing. It just keeps like, you just keep throwing it right down that guy's throat, and you're just like, hump.
Yeah.
So then I just ran through them.
It's always the worst too. When they start crying, it's the worst.
I don't like it.
It's horrible, man. It sounds so bad.
It's just those little touches that break your soul.
I got I just downloaded. Well, it's done now. I downloaded Rayman Definitive Edition a little bit ago.
Attaboy.
Yeah, man.
Wait, like the demo or the game?
No, the game. It just came out today.
I know it came out, but I didn't think you were gonna get it.
Oh no way! Are you crazy, dude?
I don't know.
Oh man,
maybe you're crazy.
No,
Did you
absolutely.
just buy RBI Baseball?
So?
Can we talk about RBI Baseball and why like pitchers are allowed to, or chuckers are allowed to slide around the mound?
That is so stupid. That's because
the hitters or the
because that's because a British.
Why did you zoom in on me just now?
A British guy. I didn't. I opened up the thing.
Oh, I'm really kind of like, I'm already really close.
Just relax. No, dude, that's a British guy that don't know what he's talking about. That's what that is. That's what that is.
It's not a big deal. We don't even like baseball here. I barely even know what the hell you're talking about. But I'm pretty sure I know. The sliding is funny. It is funny how that's like an age-old.
It's just the way it is. It's been that way forever, man. It's always been that way. I don't know. I like the game. It's fun.
Change it now.
It's fun. Oh, look who just showed up in the chat. I haven't seen him in forever.
Alejandro.
It's Dream Daddy Bobby.
No.
What's up, Alejandro? How are you doing, buddy? It's been a long time. Yeah, I don't know, man. I love I really do. I love Rayman. I love that game. That particular game. I don't love Rayman.
How much of it are you gonna play?
I'll play the whole thing. I'm gonna beat it.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
How?
What do you mean how? I'm gonna stream playing it because I feel like that's a game that I can stream and people will enjoy watching that.
I think you should play while we do this show. I think it should be a third window and just see what you can do.
No. We can't do that.
I would really enjoy that.
We
could have the sound effects coming through.
Yeah, but people would be like, "What are you doing?
What are you trying to be? Switch Talk?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. They're the guys with the sound effects in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
So if we ran Nintendo, topic number 1.
No, we're not.
No. We're 8 minutes in.
No. Because you know what? Let me explain something to you. We're gonna kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout outs.
Mother loving geek outs!
I gotta say this because the chat the other day when I was with a Nintendo Talk Live guest basically told me straight up like they enjoy the shout outs. And they're like, we don't want the banter to die, we don't want anything to die. Like if it changes, we will leave. Straight up, that's what they said. I think we have to have a happy medium. We have to have a happy medium. We can do shout outs, we just can't go super long with them. And that's all.
I think happy medium is actually an oxymoron. We want to have like I don't even know what the word is. What's in between happy and sad?
So this is what I'm going to do. Real quick, I'm going to run through the chat. I'm going to say hello to the chat. Joey Splats, Epic Sonic for the win. Wacky Cookie, Brendan Myers, what is up, you guys? This is amazing. Tony Baker, go check out their new podcast that they have going on. That is going to be really awesome.
Quest for Pixels.
Sheldon Benjamin. John Thomas the Gamer, what is up?
Benjamin.
Sheldon Benedict. Oh, Sheldon Benedict. What did I say? Benjamin?
Benjamin.
Whatever. He knows who he is. That's all that matters. Carlos Silos. What is up? Alejandro Buendia. And then look at here comes Dream Daddy Bobby. Look at. There he is.
Look, it's not even me.
Exactly. I know who it is. He came and told me who it was. So there we go. Okay, so my first shout out is going to go to, it's a real quick 2-part shout out for the first whatever, but it's Joey Ferris as well as Josh Thomas. Those two will be on Nintendo Talk Live this week. Saturday will be Joey Ferris. Sunday will be Josh Thomas. It's going to be awesome.
What are you doing? How many shows are you doing?
Oh, trust me. There's other stuff in the works that I can't talk about.
Why not?
But something huge is
Just
about
tell
to happen.
Me.
I can't tell you right now. I could possibly
tell you
off
me
the
later?
air. Huh?
Just mute for a second and mouth it to me. Only I will be able to see. Only I will be able to tell. I see my dog Charlie in the window.
Oh, good God.
Hi, Charlie. She's pooping. I'll get a right view of her.
That's lovely. The other shout out I wanted to give was to Justin Masson. Because him and I did Nintendo Talk Live this past Sunday, for 2 hours. And it was an absolute blast. It was fun. I always get along. I have a good chat when I get with Justin, and it's been a while since I talked to him. And
can I tell you something? That show was actually very special. That was very spectacular.
You think?
Your guys's. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing how you managed to keep him on the show after crapping all over Nintendo Dads for the first 20 minutes.
That's because he really feels the same way. He feels the same way. See, here's the thing. He sent me a bunch of notes to say, things to say before. He's like, here, say this stuff during the show. And then
I can't be the one to say
can't say it. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things I feel, but I just can't say these things. I was like, no, I got you, bro. That's
fair.
So no, it was. You know what?
It was actually in all seriousness, it was amazing. It's always great to have Justin Masson back podcasting and talking to you. Honestly, dude, like I was just gonna I was just gonna check it out. I was gonna fire it up for a couple minutes, and then I found myself going like, I can't put this down.
Yeah.
And then I was bathing Lincoln, and I was bathing myself separately. Because we haven't done that yet.
I don't see why not. It'd be easier just to jump in with them.
I mean, maybe. I don't know, man. Bathtubs are... I don't even think I want a bath.
That's
and,
true.
you never know when he's going to start peeing, so, you just got to stay out of the way. You need to be able to, put your hand up to block the deflect.
Oh, my God. Dream Daddy
the funny
Bobby
thing is he'll stop himself from peeing. He'll be so
You
mad
won't.
at me, but... Well, only when he hits himself in the face is what I was going to say.
Oh.
He'll pee, and it'll kind of just... And he'll be like, oh, and then it'll stop. You'll be like, don't do that. He's a self-learner. He's a quick learner, Bobby.
Oh, boy. Patrick, what is up, Patrick? Do you have any shout-outs before we...
I have a very special shout-out to the one, the only, Cool Knight Stapleton.
Oh,
Bobby.
you're trying to steal my thunder, is what you're doing.
I'll steal it big time because I'll even go ahead and say, happy birthday, Cool Knight. Happy birthday!
Look at you.
Woo!
Happy
Cool
birthday,
Knights,
Cool
happy
Knight.
birthday. What is up? Everybody go over to Raising a Gamer's YouTube channel. Whatever the latest video it is, go there, type happy birthday, Cool Knight. And that is all. That's all I have, Bobby, for shout-outs. It's one shout-out, a single one. It's a very special shout-out for Cool Knight. He's a cool dude. Great YouTuber.
Yeah.
Love his dad.
It's awesome.
Good times, man.
Where did the where the hell did the descriptions go? I had the descriptions in the show notes and they're gone. Okay. Anyway, so if we ran Nintendo,
yes. Oh, 15 minutes, not even
13 minutes we were streaming. So Todd Oxford ought to be happy. Not a shout out to Todd Oxford.
Thank you, Joey Slats.
Totally not a shout out to Todd.
I should mention, speaking of the Justin Masson episode, I wanted to just remind you that I am the foil. Bobby.
The what?
Do you remember him saying I am the foil? Did that make sense to you in the moment?
No.
He told you that I am the foil of this show. So I just wanted to remind you that I am the foil.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I don't pay attention to him, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was that long ago, Bobby. It's 2 days ago.
Joey Splat's saying that's 17
minutes too early. You're right. How are we supposed to fill the rest of the time? That's really where the shout-outs come from, guys.
Yeah, we have it. It's all right. It's all right. So if we ran Nintendo, who would be our top 3 third parties we must get to move on to the Switch? Now, this is beyond the companies that are already making games for the Switch. With what's left out there, what companies do we feel need to make their way to Switch? Which are the ones that if we ran Nintendo, we would full court press, go after them, and talk to them about bringing their games to the Switch and showing some love.
You want me to go first? You want to go like back and forth?
We can do that. Yeah, we'll go back and forth.
I don't think these guys have been announced, but I think it would be absolutely enormous. It's not even a game that I love, but CD Projekt Red, if they were able to bring...
You totally stole that from my stuff.
How would I have done that?
Because when I showed you my screen, it was up.
I swear to God, I did not. I swear. Look, I just wrote it down, and I had my pad.
I'm a little
upstairs.
disappointed.
Now
I'm a little
it's gone,
disappointed.
So I got to do this list all
I'm
over
a little
again.
disappointed.
Okay, well, why don't you go ahead?
No. Go ahead, guy. I'm just teasing. I do have them on my list too, so that's fine.
Okay, well, why was it on your list?
Well, because I think that I think that Witcher 3.
Alejandro, Rockstar is coming.
Yeah, Rockstar and Capcom are both making games for Switch. No, Witcher was such a massive game, and look at this game won Game of the Year. It almost won Game of the Year again for the DLC last year. It's huge, and there's a huge following from it. And I think that if Nintendo was to woo that game or that company over to do something on Switch, man, you would have a lot of people start working their way over to Nintendo that are basically, I don't want to say hardcore fans, because I feel like that term hardcore fans is offensive to Nintendo fans that have been supporting, it's almost like we need the real gaming fans to come play. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's kind of facetious. Like, hey man, we're just gonna, I like that word. I've been using that word a lot lately.
Facetious, but do you know what it means?
I do, and I totally forget. My mind just went blank because you put me on the spot.
Okay,
it's
so
something like you're saying it, but you're
that.
meaning fake. You're
Facetious is like extremely sarcastic.
Yes. Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I think so.
I wonder how do you spell it, like feces?
I think so.
Facetious?
Yeah.
I don't think you do. I
think
think Chelsea just asked me to spell it. I think it's fast. Anyway.
Okay. Anyway.
What's being facetious?
So yeah, I think that it's such a backhanded compliment when people are like, oh, that's not even the right term, but it's kind of like a slap in the face to Nintendo fans when you go, oh, we need to get the hardcore fans over. Like, we're not hardcore fans. Like, what are we? You know what I mean? Like, I play some what, because it's not a mature game, it's not hardcore.
Call them Dude Bro fans.
Yeah,
I think that's what you're really talking about. The Dude Bros, the Call of Duty and the Madden fans.
Yeah. I agree. So what's your feeling for CD Projekt Red?
So I tried to like The Witcher, but this is one of those things where I can't even just say what I would play on the Switch. I just know that the Switch is just based on Zelda alone, and I know Skyrim is coming, and we're going to get a lot more of these. Like, I think LA Noire is a good indication of the types of games that we can play and start to expect on the Switch, which is something that you and I have been talking about for a long, long time. We just needed like one game to show us what the possibility is, and it shatters all those walls, all the barriers that kept other game makers from putting their giant games onto a Nintendo console. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised what comes next. Like, we could be looking at just a ridiculous number of games that are coming now that Rockstar is coming on board. So that's kind of why I wanted to go with like CD Projekt Red, because they're kind of like, are they independent? Like, do you even call them independent? Like, they self-publish. So like I
thought WB published them.
I don't think so, dude. Like,
I thought they were somehow kind of like together, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
But regardless, speaking of Warner Brothers and who they work with, Rocksteady. I feel like Nintendo has to go after Rocksteady. They need to get them Arkham games over. As well as anything new that's in the pipeline, if it can run on the Switch. That's part of an issue. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can do the old games. You know what I mean? And I think there's some people, because this was the thing that me and Justin Masson talked about the other day, was with LA Noire, with the talks of, you heard me and Toby talk about it on the Nintendo PlayStation podcast this week, was if Grand Theft Auto 5 could come, those are huge. Those are really big. So if those games could come, there's a huge pocket of fans that have grown mature with Nintendo, but haven't played anything but Nintendo consoles. So, we know that Jacob Rush, we know that Justin Masson, they don't own PS4s, they don't own Xboxes. So for them, it's like, hey man, this would be a great thing. Like, I get to play these mature games that I haven't really had a chance to play. So you're opening it up to a different audience. So for me, I feel like this is kind of massive. This is huge. So if we can continue this trend of, like, honestly, man, Arkham and Arkham City. If I could just get Arkham City, I don't even care about Arkham Asylum. I don't even care about Arkham Knight. I don't care about nothing else. Arkham City, what to me was damn near perfect. And as far as being a Batman fan, like, that was the best game ever. Like, I loved Arkham City.
What about Knight as a Batman fan? Because I don't really understand. I think that there was some frustration around the story.
No.
Like,
the story
to me,
coming? No. To me, the story.
Okay, I just want to confirm. I have no idea.
For me, the story was huge, and
like, it was good.
Oh my god, dude! I cried in 2 different parts of that game.
Yeah, good.
And
I thought it was great.
And I haven't cried in a video game since I was a young kid. Like, I think Final Fantasy 3 was the last game that actually made me cry up to that point. Last of Us got some emotions out of me, almost got some tears out of me as well. But man, and the reason why, and this is the reason why, people might go like, really? What could make you cry about that? There's 2 scenes that took place in that game that took me back to a 13-year-old boy reading them in the comics. And the one I'm not going to say because it's a spoiler, but the other one is the Killing Joke scene, where he walks in the room and there's Barbara Gordon on the ground and she's been shot by the Joker and he's laughing and he's talking to her and, like, the room is spinning and I was like, holy crap. Like, you feel that intensity just hit you with it.
Yeah, man.
And
I love that game. That was in my top 10 of 2015. Yeah. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like the Batmobile, but I mean, come on.
Well, that part of it, that was the one thing I didn't like about the game, that they forced me in the Batmobile everywhere I turned around. If I could have just drove when I wanted to drive it, it would have been a different story. But when they forced me to gut in it, that was what killed the game for me. I still love the game. I still think the game is great. But I nailed parts of that game in terms of, like, figuring out who was who and what was going on early on. Like, just because, not because of, just because of the language that was being spoken between Bruce and the Arkham Knight. Like, that language being spoken, it was like, I looked at Tony, like, midway, not even midway through, like, a quarter way through the game, and I'm like,
Say it.
This is who it is.
Yeah, you didn't say it.
What do you mean, say who it is?
But isn't it weird that the... Oh, I thought you were going to say who it was.
No, I don't want to do that, because there might
so
be some
caught
people
up in the moment you forget that you're trying to be spoiler-free. Isn't it a shame that the Wii U will have more Batman games than the Switch, in all likelihood? At least, well, more Rocksteady Batman games.
Yeah, they had one. That's all that matters. No, they had two.
That's too bad. Did they have two?
They had Arkham City.
Oh, they had... Did they have Origin? Oh, no, they had a Blackgate or whatever, wasn't it?
No, well, that was another game. They had three.
Oh, okay.
They had Arkham Knight.
Oh, man.
Or no, they had Arkham Origins. They had Arkham City and Blackgate.
Did they do Origins on there too? I can't remember.
Origins, Origins was the one. That was the one that they made specifically with, and it went out the same time and all that stuff.
Oh, that's a big deal. I don't remember that.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, so Rocksteady is your developer.
Yeah.
So we've got Rocksteady. We both picked CD Projekt. Gotta get some good old Polish developers on there. I have an easy one, Bobby. This might be on your list as well, and I swear I didn't see it, but maybe it was. Also, somebody mentioned it in the chat as well. Blizzard. We got to get Overwatch. We got to get Hearthstone. These are no-brainers for the Switch, Bobby. If that would be enormous. And again, like some of these, will they happen? Likely not. But if they did, it would blow the door open for everybody else. Yeah. Overwatch is obviously enormous, and it would sort of be this proof that. And I was listening to the Warp Whistle podcast, actually, and they were kind of talking about this idea, too, that the Switch needs some sort of proof that multiplayer is here to stay. And I think Mark was trying to make a case for the fact that Splatoon is that proof that it can have a
Colin's a little... whatever.
It was an interesting conversation.
Colin's just a little over the top sometimes. Like, he just... Because you don't like Splatoon doesn't mean that it's not a great game. And just it doesn't mean that multiplayer's dead. Like, dude, there's a huge following for Splatoon. There's also a huge following for Smash and a huge following for Mario Kart 8. And, like, just take your head out of your PC ass for 2 minutes and look at the other things that are out there. That's my feeling. Like, he so wants to, like, hold Nintendo to this higher standard sometimes. And it's like, rein it in a little bit, buddy. Just a little bit. Like, I think he tries to be over the top because Mark sometimes can get...
Maybe Colin is the foil.
Oh, Colin's definitely the foil.
Colin is the foil,
yeah,
I think.
Definitely.
But I think I don't necessarily think that Splatoon is like an anti-proof that multiplayer cannot exist. I think it definitely goes a long way.
Yeah.
But you bring a game like Overwatch that is basically like it just is one of those games that completely owns that space.
Yeah.
Like other games try to come up with like these competitive multiplayer, these hero shooters, and it's just like nobody can even touch this. And Blizzard is on that level of, to me, like Rockstar and Naughty Dog, and it's like these guys are on a whole other. I would actually put Bungie up there as well. Yeah. Like the AAA of the AAA, they are the 1% that all of the games strive to. They inspire generations of games behind them, and I think definitely Blizzard is a third party that it would be more than just the fact that I want to play those games. That would be huge for the system.
Who does
Maybe put StarCraft on there too.
Might as well blank. Does Blizzard do Diablo?
Yes. Oh, Bobby. Yes, of course.
Why?
Yes.
Because that game would be perfect. Like perfect.
Oh, that's how they would do it too. That makes a lot of sense. Actually, Hearthstone might make the most sense. But Diablo is a game that they continuously update, and it's a last-gen system.
And it's not like it's a powerhouse game. You know what I mean?
No, but I think the original version of it could easily run. Yeah. Like they kept boosting it up because I don't know how Blizzard manages to do that. But dude, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you have Diablo? You bought it for the wrong system.
I bought it for the PS4.
Yeah.
I traded it in because I had nobody to play with, and I was just like, this isn't, I bought it well after its time.
How are those types of games, like those dungeon crawler type of, I don't even know if that's what you would call Diablo, but I think like Fat Princess or Zombie Vikings, just those multiplayer, like games like Castle Crashers, you can kind of level up a little bit.
That's why I asked Link Games if they were bringing Zombie Vikings to the Switch.
Oh man, it's so much fun.
That's a really phenomenal, like a Castle Crashers type game.
Dude, I didn't know that the first podcast they did was the Warp Whistle podcast.
Who,
Zoink.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that they were doing like random facts for every 10 likes or something?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. That was
and that's where I saw the GIF of you. That's right. What did they send you for that?
What happened was they sent me a can of Stroganoff, I forget how you pronounce it, but it's fish. Like fermented fish.
Oh, no.
And the video is up. The video is out there of me opening it in the house. And when I cracked that can, it smelled like death just oozing out of that can.
Instant.
It was the worst, dude. I was literally dry heaving. Like, because they offered to give me a free copy of the game. Zombie Vikings, like a physical copy of the game. And I was like, I could do this. But so here's the thing, full disclosure. You know, I'm friends with Barry Dunn. And Barry was like telling me on the backside, like, oh man, I got like some free shirts and I got some free swag and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's what's in this can. This can is just fake. They wouldn't really put fermented fish in this can. And I'm like, when I shook it and I heard the liquid, I'm like, oh, this is real. This is real.
No,
and then I get the can opener and I crack it, and it was like,
hang on a second, where did they send it from?
From Sweden.
But like, why would that get through customs?
I don't know, man. Because here's the thing.
Get your borders under control.
Dude, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, dude. When after the fact, right, Tony and I went and looked it up. This stuff is banned in like 4 or 5 countries. Like, there's lawsuits in England where like someone tried to evict someone from their apartment because they ate it all the time, and it would seep through the floors, and like they could smell it downstairs. Like, you got to be a sick individual to eat that stuff. And like, the best was all the people breaking my balls. Like, you couldn't do that. Listen, if you can get past the smell, to put that thing near your mouth.
Look, man, I can't even eat pork and rice without taking a break.
Oh, it was horrible.
So forget about it.
Horrible. And the worst was I took the can afterwards and I just threw it in the trash can outside.
Yeah, and it exploded.
No. And I take it out to the curb, right? And they dump the can, and I go up to the cans to take them back to the house, and there it is sitting at the bottom of the can still. And I'm like, oh my God. So then the next week, I take it back down to the trash, and they throw it away, and the can just would not leave. It was staying, and the trash smelled so... I was to the point where I was like... I just said to Tony, I was like, how do I get the trash man just to take... I hate that. I hate that this is a thing. I hate that it's a thing.
It's a new shirt. Hang on, I can't see myself. I need to raise up I have to change the window.
Oh, God.
Look at that. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, God.
You got your guy who quit plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
You got your sniper over there. I think I heard that Waluigi isn't circumcised. Was that a thing that was going around?
I don't know. Who knows?
You got your Diddy Kong and your...
Okay, so the third game, the third company that I would grab to from software.
Was that? Oh.
I feel like...
I thought you were having a stroke. I didn't understand.
No. I think from...
Oh,
they
dude,
really,
that's a real good call.
And what they need to do is they need to go to them and just be like, we want you... They need to pay From Software to develop a game for the Switch that's like a Dark Souls, that's like a Bloodborne, but a Nintendo exclusive game.
I think this is Waluigi's chance. This is the time for Waluigi to have his own game, and it's a Dark Souls game. He's all tall and lanky and stuff. Like, you put one of those trench coats on, like the guy from Bloodborne. Mm-hmm. Man, the rest of it just writes itself.
Would you stop?
Are you kidding me?
Would you stop?
Give Waluigi a game.
Come on, stop.
Luigi got his game. He's all frightened in his mansion.
You know what I think would work? Seriously? Ganon.
Ooh, that would be cool.
You play as Ganon, and you're going through, and like maybe you're like trying to take over the world per se, and you're trying to like get the evil on your side to then go try to take over Hyrule.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, we should definitely play as a villain at one of these. Because like even when you played as Wario, like you didn't really feel like a villain. Like you weren't trying to do anything menacing. I don't think. You were breaking stuff and putting on your construction hat, but that's it.
Yeah, I love how everybody gets hyped, and there's Joey. Joey Splat. Joey doesn't like anything. Anything. Like, what is wrong with you, Joey? Nothing in the world. Like, Joey is the typical French guy. He doesn't like anything. Just do a little wee-wee and, like smoke your little cigars or cigarettes and stuff. Like, come on. Like, but my thing is this, like, he's gonna get so mad. Watch, in any second he'll tell me he's unsubscribing.
Joey, let us use our imagination. God.
But my thing was, the coolest thing to me was, like, when I played Hyrule Warriors, when I played as Ganon, that was awesome. Like, when I rolled through and just started taking
That's what I was thinking of.
That was amazing, man. So if I could get a game like that where I'm kind of taking over the dark, and then we're...
the darkness.
When you take over the darkness and then you go and like take over Hyrule, that would be awesome. All right, so who's your third company?
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with Epic. I don't know if you know too much about Epic. They own the Unreal Engine. Okay. I think that's why it would be important for them, because they just kind of officially released like their. Well, now like I don't know if I've ever seen the Unreal Engine so officially supported on a Nintendo console. They went, it seems really out of their way to say Unreal Engine is on Switch, and for them to bring some of their first party, like in a weird way, it's like a first party for them. Like, Epic usually has a game like Unreal was a game. Like, I don't know if you realize, like way back in the day, the Unreal Engine is born out of that first person shooter on PC, Unreal. Right? Yeah. You don't want to hit out the chat there? I love watching your face just kind of like creep over the chat, and then you're just like, you're gone. you're just gone. And Sean's talking about some PC game from 1996. Look,
it's okay. It's okay.
Look, Epic would be huge. Bring in Paragon. That's that MOBA kind of game that, again, just a different type of experience. Yeah. It might even compete with Morphe's Law if they play all their cards right. Could compete with Morphe's Law, but it'd probably get dominated by it.
I'm not a fan of Morphe's Law.
I love it. Are you kidding me, Bobby? It looks so much fun.
I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not a huge shooter fan, so it makes sense. I guess we'll have to see.
Okay, you talk, because I'm just gonna go look at the chat. Oh, look, David's talking. What's up, David? Oh, you all right? All right. Paragon would be great, man. I don't think Epic's got anything going on. It's just, all I'm saying is that it would be great because Epic puts visual fidelity above almost anything. Like, when you see a game that's on an Unreal Engine, you identify it immediately, and I think for them to find a home on a Nintendo console would be real neat, Bobby.
Just for argument's sake, and like, we've already listed our three, but my question to you would be, like, what games could Activision game?
Oh, were you talking to me? I was looking at the
chat. You knock it off. You know what? Stop it.
All right.
What game?
All right, I'm sorry.
What games could Activision come and bring that would, like, make you happy?
I want Mech Warrior 2. I want Mech Warrior 2 to come back from 1993.
We're just gonna move on.
I don't know why I can't think of an Activision game. I can't think of an Activision game right now, like Call of Duty kind of thing. Like, I mean, you got your Call of Duties, you got your Bungie, your
That's
Destiny.
What I was thinking. Like, I really thought that when they started talking to Activision, that there was a potential to see Destiny come. But then Bungie went and did Destiny 2. And I don't think there's any way possible that runs on Switch.
Probably not. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That really is okay.
Yeah. The original Destiny, I felt like, could have run on the Switch.
Can somebody help me in the chat here? I don't want to clickety-clack on my keyboard here. What else is Activision? They're like one of the biggest publishers.
Well, they haven't. Let's be honest. They haven't even done Skylanders, have they?
Oh, that's a really good call.
I mean, but I'm just saying,
I opened the show reading a Skylanders book. Yeah, man, that would be awesome. That'd be great for them to come back with the Skylanders. What the heck else does Activision do?
I was just curious why they wouldn't.
I can't think of anything, and the more I keep thinking about how I can't think of anything, I gotta look this up. You guys, bear with me here. Fine. Activision. How do you spell Activision, Bobby?
What about, like, not that they would do it, but I mean, if they would bring, like, a Pitfall game back?
No, Pitfall's garbage, and everything. Now that I'm clicking on this, it's Crash and Spyro. I'm sure Crash will come. I'm sure that Insane Trilogy will come because I'm fairly certain that it's not an exclusive.
Wait a minute, how did they get Crash?
Who got Crash?
You said Activision.
Didn't they always have Crash? Who would have had them before?
Naughty Dog, didn't they? Or did Naughty Dog develop it for Activision?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Somebody in the chat, help us out. We don't know what the hell we're talking about.
That just blows me away because, I mean, obviously it was on Sony, right? And then Naughty Dog was the one that made the game.
It must have been published by Activision, just the publisher.
Yeah, that's crazy that they own the rights. Because that was the same thing with Spyro. I always wondered how they got Spyro.
Yeah, must have been a similar thing.
Yeah,
this is so strange. Even on their website, all they have listed under games is Call of Duty, Destiny, Crash, Call of Duty, Skylanders. That's it.
Yeah. No. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so what are the pros and the JoyCons of owning an NES Classic? So, with the announcement today that Nintendo is going to put out more NES Classics in 2018.
Yes, I told you.
Yeah.
I called it. Everybody who didn't think they were going to get a Marth, and then they paid $40,000 for a stinking Marth, and then they come up with another one, and then he did the same thing with Dark Pit.
Yeah.
Guys, stop buying scalp stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Just stop it.
And I love the fact that Reggie.
I
love the fact that Reggie came out this week and even said that. Like, do not buy an SNES Classic off eBay.
Time.
Yeah. They should have said that a long time. Like, that's what they need to come out and say.
Got burned? That's the thing. Like, how many people have gotten burned already because they're too impatient? They don't know how to. Like, they've already made that mistake.
Well, because partly it's, and I'm not blaming Nintendo, but partly it is Nintendo's fault of just not coming out and saying, like, guys, relax. We are going to have more. Just relax.
Just relax. You know? This is why you need to run Nintendo, because you could just.
That's all I keep saying was just relax.
Yeah, look, this is Nintendo Talk, the rundown, Monday, Friday, and by the way, just relax.
Yes, just relax. So, okay, obviously part of the pros are the great, amazing games that came with that console, or came on that thing. The fact that you could play some of the greatest Nintendo games ever, some of the greatest video games ever. Honestly, and it's just a walk through history, just a revision, not a revision, but like a retelling, where you're walking through and you're learning all this stuff all over again. It's great, in my opinion. Look, it's great if you have young kids to get this thing and just be like, hey, this is what games were. This is where we came from. Here's the Mario. Here is Mario 2. Here's Mario 3. Here's Zelda 1, Zelda 2, all that stuff. You can, you can do all these different things and just really, truly get the best out of it and really to teach it. Like, to me, Josh Stapleton, like, he's doing this Raising the Gamer YouTube channel. Like, this is the ideal tool, man. You get this and you just go and let's go with it. Okay, so
you know what else is great about it is the controller, Bobby. The controller itself.
Yes.
How long have we been buying crappy third-party replacements, or because we haven't been able to buy a legitimate Nintendo NES controller since 1983.
Yeah,
that's not real. And then all of a sudden we could get a controller again where the D-pad feels good and the B and A buttons feel good. It feels right. That is a huge plus for that. Yeah. And in addition to that, I think this is a really great way for people to stream NES games. It's probably the easiest way to go ahead and have that feed go right through.
Well, because
YouTube.
I was going to say that because it runs HDMI.
That's right.
Which is which is perfect because if you do retro game, you have to have old school TVs. You have to have the classic TVs, and then you have to, this allows you to play on the newer TVs, the 4Ks, the 1080s, all that stuff you could play. Plus, it also does the Pixel Perfect.
Pixel Perfect was the thing I've got written down to.
Really awesome, man. That Pixel Perfect is so clean, so crisp. Also, save states. If you are struggling with games, because listen, those games were so hard back in that era. You could
Too hard,
Yeah,
even.
some of them were really too, like Ghosts and Goblins. You could actually, I think you can make a case to actually beat Ghosts and Goblins with save states.
Probably.
Because you could run into a section, save the game, and then start going again. And then just run, save the game just before you get hit and stuff. And then if you die, you just start over and then start going again. So that's really, really cool. I like that. I like what they...
I wish that when you started it up, it would like fake change the channel to channel 3 or
Oh,
channel 4.
my
Like that would be
God.
so cool.
That would be cool.
I like how you could switch it too. Like, why not just say it's channel 3?
Yeah.
Like, why would you need to change it to channel and then you had your people who were your channel 3 people, then you had your channel 4 people.
Yeah.
I would have been a channel 3, by the way. We can see in the chat who would be 3 and who'd be 4. Bobby, were there games that were difficult to find or play on Virtual Console on previous or on 3DS or anything that were available on NES? I can't recall, because I feel like the big ones you could have definitely played. Final Fantasy, maybe?
Final
Maybe
Fantasy never showed up because there was always that issue with Square where they wouldn't,
Yeah,
so
that
Final
was
Fantasy
huge.
you could never do any of that. I think,
Galaga, maybe?
I think for the most part everything else kind of was
Gradius.
available.
Looking through this list, though, like, honestly, I'm excited to just get one and maybe just to have it. It'll be one of those, like, I won't... And it was just like the first one. I didn't line up anywhere. I didn't sleep over anywhere to get it. But if I walk into an EB Games and it's there, yeah, I'll probably pick one up.
Yeah.
But the Super Nintendo is the one that I'm super pumped about because the cords are a little longer, Bobby. One of the biggest cons, one of the biggest reasons I didn't go crazy over it is just an asinine controller length.
Yeah.
Like, what are they even thinking with 2 feet,
Yeah,
2.5
it's
feet?
Horrible.
That's a joke.
That is definitely a bad setup. I mean, honestly, I left mine on the shelf until you came up with the idea to, like, hey, you should put it on your desk. And I was like, hey, let me try this. And I had the TV, and I was like, this is perfect. This works ideally.
Well, it's cool that it's powered by the USB, too.
Yeah, and I could actually, it was powered by the TV. So when the TV was on, I was actually powering the NES Classic, which was perfect. It was just awesome. So yeah, I definitely would say that is, well, the cord is just a downfall all around. Like,
Definitely.
I definitely wouldn't have used it if it wasn't for the fact that I was sitting here and there it was.
Yeah.
But the fact of, like, it was so good, having that, like you said, having that controller in your hands, like, it just felt so
I'm just
natural.
surprised the controller didn't shrink as well, because they basically just made like a one quarter version of it, or 1/10 kind of model size. Yeah. I don't know what other con. What other cons do you have, Bobby?
I felt
Is it
like,
clutter? Is it just clutter?
well, because I feel like there's some games missing that probably would have made me keep it out longer than I did. You know what I mean? Like, you guys see me pull it out of my desk a million times already by now. But like, there's certain games that, like, if they would have had on there, I would have kept it out longer. You know, like DuckTales, like Metal Gear, like you know, Track and Field, a couple of baseball games. If they would have put, like, legit like some good baseball games, like
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Baseball Stars, maybe the newer Tecmo Bowl rather than the original. There's just there's so many games that if they would have done, I definitely would have spent more time with it. But ultimately, the reason why I put it away is the same reason why Reggie didn't think it would sell in the United States, because I had ultimately played 90% of those games already numerous times on my Wii U, on my 3DS. So yeah.
Yep. It's funny they're talking about, like, where, I think for the first time, maybe, I don't know if there's another spot where they said where they were kind of making their estimates based off of, and they said it was based on
other, like,
other
the
retro
Atari and
systems.
the Genesis.
Yeah,
and all
man.
that. Which
And
I
then,
think
of
that's a mistake. Like, you knew that you outsold those consoles, like.
Right, but it's not like they went, like, copy paste, like, how whatever they sold, create that many, but it's like it's just an indicator of what the appetite for retro gaming would be. And yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think that's probably the closest to a real answer, and probably the closest to the truth that it was, is that they really looked at what the appetite was for retro game. They based it on that, and it ended up being more of a conservative side where a lot of people are coming at Nintendo on this whole thing is that they're arrogant, they're assholes, they're all these different, like, aggressive and bully, or they're just like a mean corporation. They don't want you to have things. But really, they just didn't think they were going to sell it. And it's crazy to think about. Of course, hindsight is 2020. Yeah. But I thought that this recent discussion from Reggie was maybe a little too late, but very, very good.
Well, the thing that blows me away. See, this is the thing that drives me up the wall, okay? People want to sit there and go like, well, how didn't they know it was going to sell? It makes no sense. Excuse me. You got a failed console that's not doing anything. You have a new one on the horizon, which everybody's basically touting as, if it don't work, Nintendo's going third party. Like, there had to be some doubt in their minds. They were only really, truly putting the thing out so they had something on the market for that holiday season. They didn't want to let that holiday season go by with absolutely nothing on the market. So when you're looking at it, you're going, here's a bunch of gamers that are screaming and crying that I have to buy my virtual console games over and over and over and over again. You don't think that they're really truly going to buy that. You know what I mean? I think the one thing that they did not grasp in their minds was people were going to want it as collector's items. And they were going to want that controller. So that controller... That's
what got me, honestly.
That's what made me... I wanted the controller more than I wanted the console.
Wii or Wii U.
That's what I wanted it for. Because I wanted that controller to be able to play those games. And honestly, that's how I originally started playing it, was on my chair with the Wii U Virtual Console, and because I couldn't hook it up to the... I was like, I'm not sitting there trying to leave the thing on the floor. You know, like, that setup was a mess. So I was doing it that way, and I was like, this is awesome. This is great. I love this controller. I want more of this. So, absolutely, man.
That's what I was kind of most disappointed when I first heard that the stock was really low for the console itself, and I was like, oh, nuts. And then everybody's like, yeah, so for every 10 NES Classics they got 1 second controller. And that's what really busted me up.
That was that's the thing that was even... I'm surprised there wasn't more outrage about that.
I was outraged about it, but I felt kind of weird about it.
You couldn't find a second controller anywhere. Like, it was horrible.
Yeah, totally.
Variento said, The Sims for the Switch, guys.
It's a great fit.
I would love The Sims on the Switch. Seriously. Like, man, it would be amazing. You know what, dude? You know what, Sean? You are a real...
What's wrong?
Showboating piece of trash. That's what you are.
It's just...
Yeah, it's just, whatever. Get out of here. Anyway. Okay, so, I don't know, man. We got time. Do we have time for one more?
I don't know. Maybe we should do a couple more shout-outs before we decide.
Well, look, here's the deal. We have time, because we can go into this and we can make this one quick. We got about 10 minutes left. So if we ran Nintendo, because this kind of goes off of what we just did. If we ran Nintendo, would we reintroduce classic consoles? So this comes from the idea of, would we put out new consoles that are actually the old consoles? So would we put out a full-size NES console, looks the same, plays the same controllers, everything's the same, except for two things I would change. Well, one thing I would change is I would just make it able to connect to the newer TVs. So run it with HDMI. But for me, it would be... Because here's the thing, and this is why I brought this topic on. I think that Nintendo should look into this. There's a huge retro market out there, right? That's number one. Number two is, when I had the NES Classic, it made me want to play the old games that I couldn't get on the NES Classic. So for me, and I'm not going to... I'm not that guy that's going to go pirate and steal all the games off the internet and put it in there. Like, that's not me. I'm not going to emulate and all that. I don't do that stuff. So there is a market out there for guys like me that just want to play these games. So I went out and bought a Retron HD. Mm-hmm. So I feel like Nintendo's letting that market lapse. So if you put out a new NES, you put out a new Super Nintendo, you put out a new N64, a new GameCube, and you actually had these things that could hook to your TV, and you could play them on your modern TVs. It would open up streaming, like you would have more people streaming games again and all that stuff. Like, I really truly think that Nintendo needs to take a hard look at that. Like, you need to look at the success of what the NES Classic is doing and what the SNES Classic is doing and going, like, we need to open this up. We need to give people the opportunity to go out and go buy these other games and play them on, you know, their other console or a newer console.
The reason that the reason the classic editions sell so well is because they're a very convenient solution. Like, you don't have to go out and buy games or anything. They come packed with a whole bunch of games. You don't have to make really any other additional thoughts. I think that I think that if they were to reintroduce classic consoles, I think maybe you could still have the slot for your real cartridges and everything. But an online connection to an online store, like a virtual console for that system, is such a great business opportunity for Nintendo to say, look, we know that maybe this is why I think a lot of people said this is why we don't have virtual console for the Switch yet, because they're still rolling these things out. So why would you buy that instead? Like, it makes the decision much easier and much simpler. But wouldn't it be cool though to have, like, okay, well, I've got Killer Instinct Gold, I've got Mario 64 and Pilot Wings, but holy crap, I wanted to play Clay Fighter 63 and a third, or whatever it was
33
called.
and a third.
2/3?
That was 33 and a third.
That was Naked Gun.
Oh God, yes, you're right.
Right, because everything was called like something 64, so they were being silly, like 63 and 2/3 or something like that, or 7/8 or whatever. But wouldn't it be cool just to like jump into a Nintendo? It'd be like walking. They could do it like a Blockbuster storefront, and like every game is there, and you're just like wandering around, and you're begging your mom.
So this is where I feel like
tap A to beg.
Because this is what I think is the different aspect of this. You're catering to a different market. You're catering to a retro market. You're catering to people that want to go do it but can't. What I feel like the ability to do, like, I feel like having that online functionality to it is good, but you're also taking away the purpose of, like, people going out and buying games, getting back into that market of going out and looking for these old classic games and having fun with them and stuff.
But
like,
what does Nintendo benefit there? Like, they can't sell.
Well, they're selling the hardware ultimately. I get where
I get from. Been about that,
I know that, but I get where you're. Yeah. But honestly, I think that, like, if sometimes you need to do stuff just for the consumer. Ultimately, you need to do stuff as a goodwill to go, like, hey guys, we know you're out there. We know you want this thing. We're going to give you the ability to, like, so you don't have to mod an old. You gotta
wonder what it would cost them to make those again, to produce those old systems. Like, they obviously have been able to crank these things down into miniaturized versions, and like you don't even need, like, you use a fraction of the power, and it's got all the games. Like, the thing, it's just kind of makes you wonder, just like, why don't you just make it better to begin with? Like, I obviously have no idea how consoles are.
I mean, honestly, like
that.
Let's get real. If that's the case, if that's what you're going to do, if you're just going to go with that thing, why not just charge $300 for it, right? And load it with every single game.
Yeah.
Be done with it. Because I guarantee you,
that'd be cool, man.
If they said, like, here you go, here's the NES Classic, $300 for this thing, but it has every game in our library. Game over. Done.
That's crazy. They'd make 15 of them.
Well,
that's it.
They would sell like gangbusters.
So I think my answer to your question, if we were at Nintendo, would we reintroduce retro consoles? I think for the most part, my answer is kind of no. Like, I actually don't think that it's in Nintendo's best interest to do that. It's in the fans' best interest for sure, and not even all fans. Like, I think it's a very, very small market that would want to go ahead and re-engage in that retro market and kind of hit up all of the garage sales like Josh Stapleton.
Truthfully, if we ran Nintendo,
I'm going to say no.
No, yeah. Truthfully, if we ran Nintendo, I would say no to this. And this is something that I want, and because I want it doesn't mean it should happen. As far as a business standpoint, if we ran Nintendo, I wouldn't do it. If I was looking at an aspect like I just want to do fan service, I just want to run a company into the ground by fan service, then this is something I would do. But I don't feel like the market is massively wide for this. I think it would be amazing if they did from a fan side of things. And
wouldn't it be funny to discover that there is a sizable market for that? Because it's like the thing that you just said, like, surely this would not sell. Yeah. But surely, according to them, the NES Classic wouldn't sell. Like, it's just kind of, you just never know in some cases. So
I really think that if you had a way, this is what I really think. I think if you had a way to buy a full-size NES plug in regular NES games like you could back in the day, but hook them up to your brand new TVs, man, and people would go ape crap.
I am surprised that they didn't do something like their Retron, where it was like a combination, like just all the Nintendo consoles.
Yeah.
Maybe up to 64, maybe not a disc.
But the other thing too is like I feel like the problem is that you would also you're eating into Switch sales now. Because now if you have like, you know, you're basically starting to compete with yourself to some degree.
Yep.
And I think you just want to keep moving forward. Because they're making such progress with the Switch. They just need to keep moving forward. So, you know.
Well, now you got Metroid, apparently one of the best Metroid games in at least 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. So
Metroid.
That is all. Thank you guys for listening to us on iTunes, dayspace.com, Google Play, watching us on YouTube if you watch it live or you check it out after the fact on the recorded episodes, whatever. We appreciate that. We love you guys for that and all that good stuff. You can follow Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Follow me at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Bye, Preston. Happy birthday, cool name.